Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MeTime. We are on episode 4 today, and it's been a while since I've seen all of you guys. I hope all of you guys are doing well. I didn't post an episode of MeTime the other week because it was the first week back to school from spring break, and I really did not want to sit down and record an episode. I have been sleeping in class. I have been slacking off on my work, and I thought that the last thing I needed to be doing was coming on here and sitting in front of my phone and talk for 30 minutes about God knows what. But yeah, that's why I didn't post the other week, and it might have been 2 weeks actually. But I'm back, and I'm back with a fresh cut. And I woke up early today, and I was like, you know what? I might as well record an episode because it is Saturday, and I'm supposed to post an episode this day. So here I am recording an episode, and just a little updates before we get into the episode. MomoCon is this month. I will be posting a bunch of videos, shorts, TikToks. I will most likely be going live on TikTok and Twitch on MomoCon, and check the Discord for the date of MomoCon. I'm pretty sure we are going on May 24th. So in about 22 days, about like 3-4 weeks, me, Emma, Georgia, and Desiree will all be going to MomoCon, and I'll be filming, going live, and making a bunch of content there. So, yes, that's coming up this month, as well as the Minecraft Summer Realm that I will be streaming this month with me, Emma, Georgia, Desiree, Michael, and Faison and Jamie. So that's about 7 people, and I'll be going live, and it'll just be us fucking around and being in a Discord call, and just having a bunch of fun. And just a bunch of other stuff this summer. Streams are coming back, and yeah, it'll just be so fun. And I'm really excited to see how much I grow this summer, because this will be the first summer that I actually am putting out YouTube videos, streaming consistently, and I'm starting to actually grow a small, community or whatever. I'm having people comment on my videos and things, and I've gained a bunch of subscribers, a bunch being 20. So, but yeah, I'm just really excited for this summer. But moving on from that, I wanted to get in what I wanted to talk to about in this episode, and that being the year I became myself. I've been struggling to find me time topics to talk about because, this podcast, you're supposed to learn a little something about me. And I thought, why not tell the story of the year that I kind of learned who I was, and how in that year I kind of realized, like, I do kind of like myself. But okay. And now this is very recent, and this was last year. Last year was freshman year, fresh into high school. My first year, and I wasn't really nervous. I've been around the same group of people since 6th grade, so the same faces, nobody new really, but it was a new building, a new atmosphere, a new importance, new responsibility. It was high school. It's a big change from middle school, not too different, but different enough for it to really, open your eyes to things. But I guess I could give a little backstory. Before I became myself, I guess you could say I was very I guess, very shy when it came to people who weren't my friends. I was very defensive. I was very, very not self confident. I saw my physical appearance as something not great. I saw me being gay as not something great. And I guess I tried to suppress a lot of things that I didn't like about myself. Um, I would walk in the hallways with my head down. I would, if somebody were to come up and talk to me, most of the time a straight man, I'd be really awkward and I, wouldn't know how to respond or act, or, if someone asked me if I was gay, I would debate on like lying as if that was going to do anything. But yeah, so I just didn't really like who I was. Um I just really didn't have any confidence in myself, and um I just really didn't enjoy much of myself. So I was just always so self-conscious and scared and worried about the opinions of others, and I'd be like, what is that person thinking of me? Oh my gosh, I wonder if people are talking about me. It was always something. And all that kind of changed when I got back into contact with my cousin Madison, who I hadn't talked to in so long. TLDR, their parents got divorced and she went to go live with her mom. And I never really heard from her again, but I added her on TikTok or Snapchat or something, or I got her number and we started talking again. And while we spoke, I expressed my desire for a man. And she directed me to a place called MLM TikTok. Basically, where all the gay single people are. Not a place to find a boyfriend, let me tell you that. I think that I was definitely looking for a boyfriend, but a bunch of people on there just looking to get a quick, and that really wasn't what I was looking for. And so, with a mindset like mine, with a mindset like theirs, it never really worked out. But I'll talk about that a different time. But when I did go and put myself into comment sections on MLM TikTok, photos of myself, saying, hey, I'm open to whatever, I got a lot of people messaging me. A bunch of followers, a bunch of DMs, a bunch of people adding me on Snapchat. And I would accept all of their friend requests. I would read all of them, and they were all like, hey, you're so attractive. Hey, you're so fine. Hey, you're so cute. Hey, I want to get to know you. Hey, do you trade? Hey, what are you up to? Yada, 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 yada. And it was like these people saw a photo of me and were like, yeah, I want to message that guy. And I would get all these compliments and things, and I really started to have a different view of myself. I really was like, well, if these people think that I'm, somewhat attractive, somewhat good looking, they must be right. And like I didn't really believe that from the people I didn't find attractive. Like if there were people who I were like, yeah, they're not the most attractive and they were calling me attractive. I mean, I took the compliment, but I was like, but then there were like really hot people, or hot to me, who are messaging me and like, wanting to like hit me up or whatever. And I was like, well, if these people think I'm fine, I must be. And so I really did, like, when I stood in the mirror, I really did see a different person. I saw myself and I was able to say, hey, I look good. And I don't mean this to be like, I don't know, like egotistical or be like, yeah, I really do look good. No, it really just was like I had never gotten compliments like that before, and it started to change my view on myself. Like I saw myself as someone who, isn't like the best looking person, but I don't think that I'm ugly. Some people would disagree, and, everybody has their opinions, but now I can look at myself and be like, yeah, I'm not bad looking, you know? And like right now, I just got a haircut, so my hair is in like the haircut phase, you know, wait 2 weeks after all that. And so I'm messing with my hair right now, but I don't look my best right now, but I can definitely say that I look not ugly. So, and there's not really many things I hate about myself anymore. The only thing that I hate is my nose. It's kind of big, but everything else, I really don't mind being seen if I look bad too much or, you know, I really don't care because like I've sent photos of myself like this where I look really bad and I thought that I looked at my worst and people were like, damn, gotta crack that. You know? And so just from all these people who were messaging me, I started to see myself as not ugly or not like bad looking, you know? And that really did also begin to change my confidence, you know? I started to, look up in the hallways and look around and I started to gain a little bit more confidence, when talking to people. And it was like before when I would talk to people, I would immediately think like, oh, they think that I'm weird, ugly, gay, yada, yada, yada. But now when I spoke to people, I was like, I don't know what they think of me. They're talking to me now. So they clearly don't have a bad thought of me, since they are talking to me. And I really did gain confidence, and I was more out there and I was more outgoing and I've talked to people I never thought I would talk to. Not like talk as in like relationship wise, but like genuinely have conversations with or whatever. And I'm not this little scared gay twink anymore. I'm more of just like a normal gay twink now. But hold on, I have to fix my hair. Like I look so terrible right now, so I'm so sorry, guys. But anyways, I gained so much confidence from those people, and I thank all of those people and my cousin for really being the spark to all of that. But yeah, that's really how I became myself, and now I can take photos of myself and be like, I look good, you know, and now I would think that I really do have like a perfect life. I wouldn't say like perfect, but I definitely don't struggle with much anymore. I don't really worry about anything. I'm very content with my life. I feel like if I were to die right now, I would definitely be happy with how my life went, I'm no longer insecure or anything, and I really don't have anything to worry about now. I guess the only thing I worry about is my relationships and things. Um I'll talk about my first love in a whole nother video, so I can go into depth with that. But with all the people that I've spoken to and or dated or spoke to over a course of multiple months, it's always worry with me. I definitely have anxious attachment, very, very bad. I don't really have a bunch of self respect when it comes to my relationships. And so, relationships in general is definitely something I need to work on. And then once I work through that, I think that I'll genuinely be perfect. Or like my life is perfect, But, yeah, like right now, the relationship that I'm in, I'll tell you guys about it when the time comes, but I have definitely worried a bunch about it, and that's just how I am. I worry, and it's not great. But all the people that I've met have not been too great, so you really can't blame me. But that's definitely an aspect of my life that I need to work on. Relationships, that's that part. But other than that, very happy, very, very happy, very content, and I'm just excited to see how I grow more in the future. I guess the next stage in my life is, college, getting a job, becoming an adult, which I'm still gonna make content during that. I think we talked about it last episode. But yeah, that's the next stage of my life, and hopefully that all goes well, easy, smooth. That's really good. But yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about. I mean, I know how to talk about this topic, but that's really it. I guess right now, um, I'm happy, and I'm really happy to be doing this. Like, if I didn't become confident and if I didn't become myself, I probably wouldn't be doing this. Probably wouldn't be streaming. Probably wouldn't be doing a lot of things. I think that the one downside to becoming myself is the whole relationship thing, but there's been so many positives to come out of this. I love to express myself and I don't worry about the opinions of others. And it makes me so sad that there are people out there who genuinely live their entire lives worrying about that, like worrying about being like bullied and worrying and like suppressing themselves, like DL people, like people who are scared to come out because being gay isn't socially accepted. And just I feel so bad for the people who don't express themselves or can't. um and I have a question from the viewers. I have 3 questions, and one of those I can talk to in a little more depth on with that. But yeah, now I think that just people need to just do things that make them happy. I did things that didn't make me happy, but now I do, with the mindset that I have now, with the outlook on life I have now, I'm very happy, you know, and things will change in the future, but I think that I'll always stay happy because I've finally found myself. And I guess that's all thanks to my cousin and all the people who found me attractive, you know? But yeah. Yeah. I guess this will be a short episode today. I do have something I need to do today. I've recently started playing Pokemon Go again. If you haven't known, I talked about it in my making ramen little vlog. But yeah, I'm playing Pokemon Go again, and I found this community near me who play Pokemon Go, and they invited me to go with them on Shadow Entei raid day and do some raids with them. So I'm gonna go do that at 1 o'clock today, and I'm really excited. So yay! But I guess I'll move on to the questions. And these are some really good questions I have today. So the first question is, how cool am I? And this is from Pebble. And Pebble, you are very cool. Very, 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 very cool. You come into my streams and you're very cool and you're very funny, and I have a good time when you're around. So 10 out of 10 person right there. I love Pebble, and as well as all of my other viewers, I genuinely love all of y'all so much. You do not know how much y'all mean to me. And the fact that I do kind of have like a little community right now, I wouldn't even call it a community, but like a little group that's kind of built off of like me, it makes my heart warm. Like I love that so much. So thank you guys so much for that. But question 2, it is, how have you changed since you started making content? And this question is from Chair. And this is a very good question because, when it comes to making content for me, of course it's something big in my life, but it's more of something that I just do alongside my life. So it's not like I'm in this new mindset, when making content. But there have been some things to change. I've really had to learn to prioritize things. I've really had to learn to keep promises, to put effort towards something, because back early on when I first started making content, if any of you guys were there, I was very bad about not being consistent, not keeping up with my promises, canceling things, being inconsistent, and it was really bad. But now I've learned that, hey, I need to record this episode and it needs to come out Saturday. Hey, I need to make sure to record a video this week to post out for all of you. Hey, I need to stream this week and get this done with, And so I guess it's really put me in my place with getting things done and keeping my promises and not overdoing it, because with everything I do, like back when I was an event planner for Rainful and things, I would always overdo things. I'd be like, hey guys, there's this big event happening. I'm writing 12 books for it, and there's going to be 40,000 streams. And that was like literally based off of a first thought. I had not put any work in towards it. And in the end, those things that I promised and said never came to fruition. So making content has really put me in my place when it's like, if I say I do this, I have to do it, And it's made me do like more realistic things. Like, am I gonna record 5 videos this week? No, but I can record 2, or I can record 2, stream, and then put out a YouTube short. That's more realistic for me, and that's where I now have my mindset. And so that's one thing I've learned, or how I've changed since making content, being, I guess, more committed and responsible when it comes to making content and things. And then another thing is how careful I am online. Digital footprints and being canceled and stuff. Like, there's probably some information out there that you could do some deep digging, but just how careful I am. I will most likely go and delete a bunch of the pictures that I put of myself in MLM TikTok, and once I get like decently popular, like 1,000 followers or something, relationships are probably something that I will not do online and things. And as much as that pains me, I'll probably wait until I'm a little older until I start doing relationships again. That's also a whole nother conversation because of the relationship I'm in now. If you're in the Discord and watch one of my Twitch streams, you would know the tea of that. But yeah. What? I just totally lost my train of thought. But oh yeah, how careful I am online. Now I'm trying to be very careful. Now I'm trying to not do a bunch of things that I would have done 2 years ago. But yeah, I guess that's how I've changed. And I also think that I've become happier when making content. I really do love sitting in front of this camera and talking and streaming and vlogging and all of that. So yeah, and it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you again so much. I don't think I'll ever go a video without thanking you guys. And then this is my final question here. If you were dying tomorrow, or if you were to die tomorrow, what will your message be to the world? And I genuinely love this question so much. And this is from Chair. Hi, Chair. Thank you so much for this question. If I were to die tomorrow, the message I would leave for the world is that you only have one life. You and everybody else have one life. And all of our lives are so much more similar than you think. We are all born and we all die. Whatever happens in between it, yes, is different, but in the end, we all die, okay? In the end, we all die and we'll all be in the same place. We will all be put on the same level when we're dead, So the people who live their lives worrying about others, worrying in general, thinking how their life could be better, how their life could be this, how their life could be this, how they could change this about themselves. Live your life the way that makes you happy. Live your life the way it makes you happy that you're alive. You only have one life. If you live it being worried about every other person, every other thing about you, worried about every other person except yourself, then when you're dead, you're going to regret not living your life to the fullest, you know? That's why I said earlier in the episode, if I were to die today, I would be happy. I live my life for me, for nobody else. I live my life for nobody else except for me, you know? So my message to the world is to live your life for you, you know? Live it for you so that when you are dead, you don't regret it. You only have one life. Live a happy life. Do what you want. As long as what you want to do doesn't hurt anybody else or make their life miserable, do it. Do it. Live your life to the fullest, because in the end we all die. You don't know when you will die, but just enjoy it. Enjoy life. You only have one life. Live it to the fullest, okay? And that would be my message to the world, because I really want people to enjoy the one life that they get, you know? Because I enjoy my life, you should be able to enjoy yours, you know? And don't let anybody else not make you enjoy your life, you know? Don't, you know? And it's like, yes, I get it. There are bullies. There are people who are genuinely out to get you. And that goes for some people, you know? There are genuinely people out there who want to make your life miserable. Don't let them get to you, you know? You need to realize that. You need to, like, see them on a human level. Like, yeah, they are doing all these things to you, but it's like, why? You know, why you? Why? So when you think that, you know, just be like, why are they doing this to me? There's no difference between us. That we're both human. Don't pay them any attention, okay? Ignore them. As hard as it might be, as it might hurt, girl, you're alive. Sometimes that's painful. That's also one thing I love about life. You get to experience things. Pain, happiness, sadness. Dude, I know some of those things might not feel the best, but you get to experience those. And I think that the people who experience those are the most human people of all, you know? So, don't live your life don't live your life miserable. Live it happy. Do what you want, you know? But that was a really good question to end off this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really did enjoy this episode. Yeah. At the end of every time I'm done recording one of these episodes, I'm always like, damn, I really do enjoy doing this, you know? And, you know, seeing you guys talk about my videos, seeing you guys watch them, getting comments from people, of the people I know and the people I don't know, it's so amazing. And it really does make my heart so warm. So thank you guys so much for that. Like, I would not be here without all of you. And, yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe make sure to like the video, subscribe to me, and comment anything you want to comment. Yeah. The Discord is in the description, as well as my TikTok, and then a bunch of my other links are in the Discord. So join that, come hang out with us, and yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.